Alright, what's up? It's Kingler Bangler. I'm here with a different video than I've been uploading. I've really just been focusing on PUDL Season 1, which I do have a playlist in if you want to check it out. But I am going to actually make my return into NPBA. I've been playing Mons probably since around 2020, like when COVID hit is really when one of my friends got me into it. This is one of the first few leagues that I branched out into, and then real life circumstances kind of shut me down from making content or playing a lot of Mons outside of the league I was running. So it's been kind of a while since I played there. I do have, I think the very first season I played, I won the championship in the Johto division. They bumped me up to the higher division, which was Kano, and that was kind of right where things started going wrong. So I think I had maybe one of the worst performances I've ever had. I was bringing wrong abilities, making dumb plays. I think I finished like 1-9 or 1-8 or something, and then I just kind of stopped appearing in that league. So I came back. I'm gonna document it as I go along, and I'm just gonna talk about the draft that we finished. Week 1 started technically today, which is Monday. Should this video be going up? I probably won't, a lot of times because unfortunately I'm a full-grown adult with a full-time job and everything. I usually play a lot of my games on the weekend, so if this video, I probably won't have week 1 up until probably next weekend, but, no diff. So I was 8th overall. It is low tier Terra. No mon above 10 points can be a Terra captain, as well as there are some mons in that range that they specifically banned out, like Regieleki, etc. The mons that would be too good still with Terra. I was pretty excited because there's no lock on the amount of Terras, so you don't have to pick 3 types or can only be stab. It's your low tiers can Terra into whatever they want. I think at some point, maybe I just read it wrong, but I think at some point they went back and added Terra Preview with that. I'm not a big fan of Terra Preview because I feel like with the low tier guys, there's really only maybe tops 5 types in a certain matchup they may want to bring, and if you give that away at the beginning of the match, then it just makes it a 50-50 of can you read when they're actually going to click the Terra button or not, and that might make it more fun for some people, but I think adding 50-50s kind of takes away from the experience a little bit, but there's not a huge diff for me on that. I'm still going to play. So with the first overall pick, my first overall pick, but I went pick 8. I took Sneasler. It's just a mod I wanted to try. At the very end, I'm going to go over the point value so you can see we had 115 points for 9 to 11 mons. So I took Sneasler. He's got some cool abilities. In pressure, unburden, poison touch, dire claw is really strong. SD. He can't Terra, so I do think there is some value lost. But I like trying to use some mons I've never had, as well as bring in some mons I'm a little more familiar with. So this season, for this one, I decided to take this guy first. I didn't like what else was open, and we'll see how it goes. I really want to just hit stuff with him, hit stuff hard. Next. On the bounce back, I took his nickname's gonna be Flu Season. Haha, I'm very funny because he's a Sneasler. So next we're gonna go into my second pick, which is actually the Chiyu. Same thing, kind of. I've never used this mon, and I think his ability is very strong. Again, with Terra, to me there is some value lost. I might have overpaid honestly to try and use him, but I feel like he's really usually specs or he's scarf modest, which kind of hurts because he's only base 100 speed. So to be scarf at 100 and modest means I'm really not catching too much. But we'll see how it goes. I haven't really gone through his move pool yet. It is going to be Nat Dex Terra Preview, so there are some things that he'll probably get to use that he can't use in some of the regional decks. But his move pool is pretty limited anyway, as you can see. So I'm not really going to be doing too much here, but we'll see what we can do with them. We'll see if there's any fun ways to run them. So after I took those 2, I wanted to get into my support mons a little bit. So the first thing I took was Sylveon. Just baton pass, CM, pixelate's a really good ability. It just gets a lot of stuff I want. Mystical Fire and Nat Dex. Apparently gets Trailblaze, Weather Ball, Wish, Yawn. There are probably better options at Fairy, but this is one of the mons that I really like that I've used before. and I know what I can do with it. So after taking 2 mons offensively that I'm a little nervous about, just because I've never used them and I'm not sure that I should even really have them together, I wanted to get this in here and just kind of get myself a staple. Round 4, part of the theory that I was going for here was Sneasler and Chi-Yu are both ground weak, so I went Rillaboom. This lets me easily pop my Unburden if I choose to run that on Sneasler with Grassy Surge. It cancels out Earthquake weaknesses. It gives everybody a little recovery. Yes, that includes the enemy team, but same thing. I've used this guy a little bit before, but he can run Band, he can run Annoying Support Set. It's got Knockoff, Prio, and Grassy Glide. It threatens waters, another thing Chi-Yu doesn't like. U-Turn is always good. But yeah, just another mon that I'm hoping to support those 2 carries with up top. And then that was about it really at this point. So I was pretty comfortable with my draft up to those first 4. And their names, hopefully you're seeing all their names, but he will be Bam Bam all season. I didn't go over the Sylveon, but Sylveon I think is Bowtie. I don't really have a lot of reason for the names. It's just whatever I think of when I see him, that's what I name him. And we rock that for the length of the season. Going into this next mon, so I'll just show you it and then I'll go over my. So I always have really tried to, when I first got into mons, the 2 cores I was introduced to were Fire, Water, Grass, and Dragon, Fairy, Steel, as kind of like the staple cores to build around. One of them, it's kind of like, they all cover each other's weaknesses or strengths, and it just helps build a team to a balanced level and help you do what you want. So I haven't actually ever gotten to run it because I've never gotten a combo I really liked, but I've really always wanted to try the Fighting Dark Psychic core. And the idea here with this Deoxys mon is he's the ultimate support guy to finish that core with Chi-Yu Dark type and Sneasler. I can run him bulky, obviously. He's got all the hazards. CM if I want to try and throw people off, knock off screens. We got T-Wave, Taunt, Teleport. I don't know if I can click that or not. There's some mons that there's event moves or whatever. But just a lot, it can bring a lot of stuff. And I feel like it's so fat that maybe we'll be okay with the Dark and, Ghost Week or whatever. But I just want to try the core out. But just as a fallback plan, Chi-Yu and Rillaboom or Fire Grass, I still wanted a water type, so I went Swampert. I'm not super in love with this pick. I'm a little nervous about him in grassy terrain. However, Hidden Power is banned, so I don't need to worry. And not everything can Terra, so I don't need to worry about too much with random grass moves, but a lot of stuff did get Trailblaze. But honestly, if I leave Swampert in to eat a Trailblaze, he was probably already going to be a sack anyway, so it's not a super big deal in my mind, but it does kind of, threaten him out. I have 85 attack, so if I really wanted to, I could run Earth Power. That won't get negated by the grassy terrain, but I think a lot of times he's just going to kind of be utility-ish, but it just was a good mon that was open. I liked his point value. There are some concerns, like I said, but I think we'll be all right. So as I said previously, it was 115 points for 9 to 11 mons, and for Terra Captains we had 15 points total, and no mon above 10 with certain restrictions in that. So at this point, I wanted to confirm my Terra Captains, just get some guys I haven't used that I think might be cool in certain scenarios and see what happens. So I went Articuno. This guy I think he's really cool. His stats are really good, but he's always kind of been defeated by the fact that he's an ice flying type. So I think being able to use him Terra and take that off him might be cool. He does get defog because it's Nat Dex, and we needed that because of course, I'm in love with not drafting off, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, he just has some cool things to do. He's got Haze to stop setup, Freeze Dry, Toxic, U-Turn, obviously Whirlwind to phase out. Just good util. Like I said, I don't know if it got added late or what, but I did see that they now say Terra Preview, that we got to play the games in Terra Preview Nat Dex. But I feel like this guy, unless I'm running it offense and want to keep stab, it's either going to be ground or fairy for the most part. There's not a lot for a lot of the other types, but I could be trolling. Maybe I'll find something cool, but that's about it. It was just, a fat mon that can run util if needed, depending on matchup, and Cantera. And that's it. He's going to be called Big Peck Energy. And yeah, so these next two mons are actually somewhat of a throwback to my first season in the NPBA. I don't know if anybody that even remembers me or played in that season with me will remember, but the very first season that I played NPBA, I had obviously won the championship, and on that team I had Magnezone. I didn't want to run Magnezone back, so I'm running Magneton as one of my other Terra captain. He's going to be named Zone Junior. Same thing, Magnet Pull, sturdy, analytic, 120 special attack. He was only like 6 points or 7 points or something like that. So I thought it'd be cool to get him in there. I used his big bro, so I know pretty much what it's like to use this guy. But I can obviously run a Violite and change his type. A Violite kind of hurts because he's like 4 times weak to rocks, so it's a little scary. And I don't have the best off, but I think it'll still be certain situations or matchups that I can get him in the spot that I want and do what's needed. We'll see how it goes though. But yeah, just another guy I wanted to get in here, feel a little safe with. We'll figure it out. Hidden Power being banned it definitely hurts him, but I could run like a curse set. There's stuff to do. There's stuff to be done here, but it could be a little dangerous. And then lastly, I have Throwback, my Mega Aerodactyl. This was a key part of winning the first season that I played, and I'm hoping to recreate the magic. Offensive rock types are always hard to handle. Rock's just a really good offensive type. The biggest issue with rock and flying is that a lot of the moves could miss, and that is pretty much what it comes down to with Mega Aerodactyl. Sometimes you've got to click the move and hope that you hit, and sometimes you'll miss and you'll lose for missing. But I had a good time with him the first time I used him, and I wanted to bring a little more offensive pressure because I feel like after the first two, I pretty much went like full util in the draft, like all the way up to pretty much Magnezone. So I wanted to come back in and get some more hurt, I guess. But we'll see how it goes. I got some stuff to cook up with this guy. I think he'll be fun to use again. It's been a long time since I've used him, and so let me just get this up here. All right, good. This is good enough, I guess, for you to see. So this was the planner when I was going through. This is the order they were drafted in, and the point value. As you can see, I dipped into the 18-point tier twice to take Sneasler and Chi-Yu in the first 2 rounds, and then I kind of went hard util after that. Sylveon technically got drafted before Rillaboom, but pretty much it was like yeah, Rillaboom can be offensive, but he can also run support. And then Sylveon, Deoxys, and Swampert and Articuno were all just like trying to fill weaknesses or ideas in my mind. I've got a lot of momentum, so I'm not worried about that. I've got a flip turn, 3 U-turns, a Volt Switch. I know there's Baton Pass, Teleport on Deoxys D. So I think really the only mon that can't get out is Mega Aerodactyl, I think. But sometimes that guy's coming in and he's going for game. I do have 2 Defogs, but it might hurt to run Defog on Mega Aerodactyl depending on what we're doing. But yeah, anyway, I'm reusing the Hyde Park Hippo name and logo that I just got for entering into the PUDL, and we'll see how it goes. And I might also start gauging interests depending on how many people watch this or whatever. I might come back. It's going to be after DLC because the league I was running is kind of falling apart. The people in there are way too burnt out and they need a break. So I might come back and open up my own league again after that season finishes and there's a decent break. So I'm kind of in my mind targeting maybe late January or somewhere like first week of February. If there's any interest, leave it in the comments. I have a core group of people that I know I'm going to move from the current league into the new one if I decide to run it, but we're definitely going to need to boost the players in it. I haven't really formally decided on the format or anything, but I think it'd be cool to get back into running it. And Pokemon like singles draft competition is at an all-time high right now, especially with the running of AIM bringing it back. And I know they run Wi-Fi and everything, and I'm mostly a Showdown player, but just a resurgence in how popular it was, because when I was playing in like 2020, right when COVID hit, it had just kind of fallen off because the timer kind of killed it. So pretty much all the big YouTubers stopped making singles draft like content. So it's pretty much good luck. But yeah, that kind of off track and not really a part of the actual team video. But if there's anybody that makes it to this point in the video and would be interested in possibly joining a league run by me in February, feel free to leave a comment. I will just say, last caveat on that league thing, as I stated previously somewhere in this video, I work Monday to Friday, EST. I have to clock in at 6 a.m. and I work until I finish my day. Sometimes that's earlier, other days it's later. So if I do run my own league and I open the applications to everyone, everyone can apply and everyone will be considered. But there would be a strong preference for North American time zones, just because as much as I love my friends in New Zealand and everything, I can't play you Thursday at 1 p.m. because that's when you're available. It's just unfortunate. That's the way life is. But I don't even know if that's even going to get any interest or anything. But just put that out there. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll join this league, or at least see what he does when it comes time, that will probably be somewhere in there sprinkled as a notification. And that's it. Yeah, we're gonna go into this season as well. You'll see some more videos. I'd love to start streaming, but I don't really play a lot of games, so I don't know if I'll really pop up doing that at all, but we'll see what happens. Right now we're gonna make PUDL content and NPBA content, and kind of hold steady on that, because these videos are pretty short. It's like under 20 minutes, and it still takes a lot more than you would think just to get these up once a week. But yeah, that's it. I will see you guys later. Bingler out.